Let's make a hand-embroidered Christmas ornament, a cozy little project that's perfect for the holidays. This tutorial will walk you through each step to make a unique, handmade ornament. Peel the backing off of your dissolvable sticker and place it in the center of the fabric. Working from the center out, smooth the sticker to remove any bubbles or wrinkles. Loosen the screw in the embroidery hoop and separate the inner and outer rings. Lay the inner ring flat and place the fabric on top, then press the outer ring down over it. Tighten the screw and gently pull the fabric edges so it's taut like a drum. Whenever you're pulling embroidery floss, you want to pull from the side with the number. You want to cut your floss about 1 arm's length or around 30 inches. Embroidery floss has 6 strands, so for some stitches we'll use all 6 strands, but for other stitches we'll use only 2. And to get 2 strands, you want to pull 1 strand out at a time and then bring the 2 strands back together. If you pull both strands at the same time, it can create a knot. To thread the needle, place the thread into the eye of the needle until 1 to 2 inches are sticking out. Because there is no knot on this side, when you embroider, you'll need to hold the end of the needle and the embroidery thread so that it doesn't fall out. On the other side of the thread, we need to place a knot to ensure it doesn't go through the fabric. The easiest way I found to do this is to do just 2 to 5 basic knots about 1 inch away from the bottom of the thread. We're going to do a whip back stitch on all of the straight branches, which starts with a back stitch. To do a back stitch, come up from the back of the fabric until it stops at the knot and go forward 1 stitch length, then go back down into the fabric until the thread is taut. Go forward 1 stitch length and come up through the back of the fabric, then go back down into your previous stitch. Since the branches diverge out, you'll do 1 branch, then return to the last stitch at the center before going to the next branch. After you finish the back stitch, come up at the end of the branch and go underneath each stitch with your needle coming from the same direction each time. You're going underneath the back stitch so you won't be piercing the fabric if doing it correctly. After the last weave stitch on each branch, pierce the needle through the fabric at the end of the branch in order to secure it before you move on to the next branch to do a whip back stitch. Once you have 3 to 5 inches left of thread, you want to tie a knot. I ended up getting about 5 branches out of the initial thread, but that'll vary from person to person. To tie a knot, hold the thread in your non-dominant hand and wrap the thread around the needle, then place the needle under a nearby stitch. Pull it through until you get a small loop, then place the needle through the loop until tight. Repeat this 1 more time, then cut off the thread to leave a small tail. For the rest of the branches, we have a straight stitch / back stitch, which we already know how to do. This one is a smaller branch and only needs 1 straight stitch, but when you get to longer lines, I'd recommend splitting a branch into a couple of back stitches in order to make sure that the stitches stay taut. This was a branch I considered to be long enough to do 2 back stitches. Pull the needle up through the back of the fabric, then hold the needle in your non-dominant hand. Wrap the thread around the needle twice, then place the needle in a nearby spot, but not the same exact hole you came up from. Continue holding the thread taut until the knot is almost formed, then release. If you have issues with this knot, make sure that you don't go back into the fabric in the same exact hole you came up, and make sure that you always hold tension on the thread with your non-dominant hand until it needs to be released. Lastly, we have the text being done in a back stitch. I recommend small stitch lengths on the text in order to keep the details, especially on the curves of any numbers. Remove the fabric from the hoop and put the fabric under warm water. Lightly apply pressure to the stitches to help the sticker dissolve. You can use more friction on the outer ring where there's no thread, and this should only take about 1 to 2 minutes in order to fully dissolve. While that's drying, take the inner hoop and lay it on top of the felt. Using a pen or marker, trace the inner diameter of the hoop and then cut it out. Once the fabric's dry, put it back inside the hoop and tighten it. Flip the hoop over and place the felt inside. Cut off the corners of the fabric to make it circular. Our last stitch is a running stitch. For this one, don't put a knot at the end of the thread. Start from the center out and leave 3 to 5 inches of thread as a tail. Skip 1 stitch length, then come back into the center. Skip 1 stitch length, then go back out. Be careful not to pull on the initial tail. You can continue stitching like this, or you can accordion the fabric to do multiple stitches at once. Have your final stitch end with a tail on the inside like your first one did. Remove the needle and while holding one tail of thread, pull the other tail of thread to have the fabric cinch in. Tie a knot to have it cinch in even more, then double knot to secure it and cut off the tail. Create a bow on top, then place the ornament hanger on the screw and hang it on the tree. Happy holidays!